All right, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show and the pregame show of your Sachse Mustangs as they are taking on the Garland Owls here at Homer B. Johnson Stadium. Make sure you check us out on October 13th at 7 p.m. right there for the live live commentary. Check us out there. And, well, there he is right there. Look at that right there. Against the Garland Owls. Make sure you check it out. It is the pregame show, of course, being brought to you by the Bullet Experience. Make sure you check them out as they got a beautiful facility over there, and they do a lot of really, really good stuff over there as far as training, as far as getting you ready for a season, or that all-important in-season training that you need to do to be at your best at whatever sport you do, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, volleyball, or soccer, or any of those kind of things. These guys have got all the coaches. These guys have got all the experience. These guys got Melvin Bullitt, that guy that stopped Tom Brady. Yeah, I said it. There's not too many people that have stopped Tom Brady. So make sure you check them out over there at 8900 Princeton Road in Rowlett, just on the outside of Waterview. Get them checked out. The good facility, good place, and we thank them for their sponsorship here of the pregame show. And it is a week here where the Sachse Mustangs are working really hard to try to become a good football team. And right now they're struggling as they work at that. And there are things that you look at and you ask yourself the questions, well, do they actually have the capabilities to do what they need to do? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Depending on the team they're playing, there are a lot of things involved when it comes to doing what they need to do to get a win out on the football field. And sometimes it works, and sometimes the things that they want to try to do don't work. And sometimes they got injuries and all these other things that get in the way of success. And right now we're seeing that in Sachse. If it's not one thing, it's another that would get them in the way of their success that they're having out on the football field week in and week out. Now, the bye has come and gone. And let me tell you something. It's been a long, and I mean, let me just say, long 14 days, but it was also a good 14 days that I needed in order to get ready to do this one and get set as I am the hardest working man in sports radio, so I had a lot going on even outside of the bye. So, but we're back here, a place that we like to be, a thing that we like to do, which is covered high school football and, of course, with the Sachse Mustangs. So what's going on as far as the Sachse Mustangs are concerned? Let's check it out. Let's find out. Let's go to the standings in the 9-6A standings where your Sachse Mustangs play, and they've had a rough patch at it, but let's talk about it. Wiley East has been spectacular this season. This was the homecoming team that the Sachse Mustangs faced, and they are having a great season. They're 6-0 overall, and the district record right now at 4-0. All important district. The top 4 teams get in there, so we'll talk about that here in just a moment. And then it's followed by Wiley. Wiley 4-2 overall, and they are 3-1 within the district. And then followed by the Naaman Forest Rangers, who are 3-1 within district. They're 3-3 overall. And then the team that the Sachse Mustangs play in 4th place is the Garland Owls. They're 4-3 overall, 3-2 within district. So they're in 3rd place. But Garland has lost the last couple of games. So there's probably going to be some opportunities for teams to move up, whether that be the next team that's in line. That would be the Lakeview Centennial Patriots, who are 4-3 overall and 3-2 within district as well. But they lost last week. So, and then you have the North Garland football team, as the Raiders right now are 3-3 overall, 2-2 within district. They won last week, so they're moving up. And then the Sachse Mustangs, they are 1-5 overall, 1-3 within district. Had a rough patch as far as that is concerned. Lost the last 2 after they got the victory against the team that is behind them. That would be the Rowlett Eagles, who are 1-6 out on this season, 1-4 within district. And they won. They lost last week, but won the week after they took on the Sachse Mustangs. And then it is the South Garland Titans. They are 1-6 out on the season, 0-5 within district, and they have lost, unfortunately, the last 6 games of the season so far. So that is the standings right now where the Sachse Mustangs are right now. But then someone's going to ask, well, how did they get where they are? And that's always a good question. Sachse, unfortunately, had a rough patch when they first started the season, as the first 2 games out of district, against Coppell 56-27, they took that loss. Then Prosper beat them 51-14. And then when they jumped into district, they were having success all through the game, but unfortunately, overtime could not get the job done against the Lakeview Centennial Patriots. They lost that game 34-28. Then the Rowlett Eagles got up on the board within district while taking on the Rowlett Eagles. They got the victory 48-41. And then at homecoming, unfortunately, Wiley East had their way with the Sachse Mustangs 45-17. And then this past game before the bye, they took on the Neiman Forest Rangers, and the Rangers beat the Sachse Mustangs 39-13. So that brings up Garland here Thursday night on October 13th. You're seeing the pregame show here Wednesday on the 12th, and we'll also be playing this right before the game. But we're setting ready to go for that one. After that, the Sachse Mustangs take on the South Garland Titans. And that's another Thursday game. That is on the 20th on October. And then on Friday, October 28th, the Sachse Mustangs are taking on the Wiley Pirates. Then they finish up the season with the North Garland Raiders. Mark that. And that is on Friday, November 4th. So, and we're working on that last game. We'll be getting you set, and we'll keep you informed on as far as that is concerned, for that team. So what have the Sachse Mustangs do? That's always the big question, right? You ask what is set, and obviously with the setup, the way that we got it, we don't have a lot of things that we can look at except for the offensive stats. So let's look at the offensive stats for the Sachse Mustangs as they go in taking on these Garland Owls. And it starts with the passing game. The most important position out on the football field is the quarterback position when you talk NFL, but that's not always the case in college and high school. However, we're going to start there as Brendan George pretty much has taken over the quarterback duties for the Sachse Mustangs. He is 52 of 88. He is completing almost 60% of his passes. He's got 597 yards passing. He's got 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions so far this season. So he pretty much has taken over. We had Grayson King, who is 6 of 30. He passed for 68 yards, but 4 interception. And then Victor Jesus Gutierrez, he is 4 of 10, completing 40% of his passes, 97 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Now, where is the talent on this football team, and where do they go when they need something? And that is going to be the running game. And the running game consists of quite a few people, but one guy that's kind of taken it over is Popacana. 63 rushing attempts. He's got 607 yards. He's averaging about just a little over 9.5 yards per rush. He's got 6 touchdowns. R.C. Reeves, who's been injured, he's got 45 rushes, 232 yards, averaging just over 5 yards a carry. He's got 4 touchdowns. And then Harris. Harris has been picking up and coming in quite a bit. 24 rushes, 146 yards, averaging about just over 6 yards a carry, and he's got a touchdown as well. Grayson King also coming in now. They're shifting out the backfield a lot. King, 32 rushes, 137 yards, just over 4 yards a carry. He's got 2 touchdowns rushing as well. And then Brendan George also, obviously he's going to get involved with the rushing game. 31 rushes, 133 yards, just over 4.25 yards per rush. And he also has a touchdown. And then Haygood, 12 rushes, 51 yards, just over 4.25 per rush. And he's also got a touchdown. So that's what you're looking at as far as the rushing is concerned. Now, wide receiving, Cortland Scott, 23 receptions, 281 yards, averaging just over 12 yards a catch. He's got 3 touchdowns out on the season. Click Lockett, 15 catches, 185 yards. He's also just over 12 yards a catch. He's got 2 touchdowns. Jet Krill, 8 receptions, 87 yards, just over 10 yards a catch. And then Kendrick Hanks, who's jumped up here in the last 3 games, he's got 7 receptions, 75 yards, just over just over 10 yards a carry. And then Austin Phillips, 4 catches, 58 yards, right around 15 yards a carry. And then Robbie Rutherford, he's got 2 catches, 52 yards, and averaging obviously 26 yards. He's also got a touchdown. Then you got Quinn with the catch with the 13 yards, and then Claiborne with the catch for 9 yards, and Reeves out of the backfield, 1 catch, 2 yards. But that's really what you're kind of looking at as far as where the Sachse Mustangs are right now and what they are doing from, day to day, at least on the offense. What we're seeing on the defense, we're seeing a good effort on the defense, but we're also seeing them out on the football field a lot. And I'm going to talk to the Eagle Eye Bill Serna a little bit later on in this program here about just that and what has to happen. And obviously sustaining drives is a big part of that, but there's other things. And we'll talk to the Eagle Eye about that a little bit later on in the show. That being said, what we're going to do now is we're going to take that quick break here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the team they're facing, that being the Garland Owls here on the Couch Potato Sports Show and the pregame show of your Sachse Mustangs. We'll be right back. At the Jerry Bullet Training Center, we are a motivated team of coaches with the mindset of helping you achieve and reach your highest goals. Having developed and trained over 100 Division I athletes as well as Division II athletes, even professional athletes, the Bullet team definitely has the knowledge and mindset to take you to the next level. Check out our new 22,000 square foot facility and 3,000 square foot weight room, along with 4,500 square feet of outdoor turf and covered training area, along with football and soccer fields. Contact Melvin Bullitt at 214-326-7853 or visit their facility just outside of Waterview at 8900 Princeton Road in Rowlett. The prospect of retirement can be exciting and scary at the same time. At Nest Egg Wealth Advisors, we have found many people either approaching or currently in retirement fail to truly maximize some of the benefits offered to them, primarily Social Security. What is it? How does it work? It's simply not a benefit that you start receiving at age 62. Because these decisions are so important, my firm has assembled an informational packet on Social Security. If you would like a complimentary copy of Social Security Maximization, please give our office a call today at 972-412-6064 or visit us on the web at nesteggadvice.com. Rich's Performance Muffler and Auto Care has provided complete auto repair services to the Wiley area since 2003. Whether it's alignments, brakes, air conditioning, muffler service, suspension, front-end auto services, or in my case, a Cadillac converter, Rich does it all. Stop by and see him at 603 Commerce Street, Suite 203 in Wiley, or give him a call at 972-461-0776. That's 972-461-0776. You'll be happy you called Rich instead of anybody else.
There is nothing that beats good home-cooked barbecue. Since 1941, Dickey's Barbecue has done all the cooking and you take all the credit. Come see us today at our Rowlett location, 5701 President George Bush Turnpike, Suite 110 in the Target Shopping Center. Whether you want to eat in or take it home, we will fix you up. For lip-smacking, rib-tickling, knee-slapping, foot-stomping, great-tasting barbecue, come see us at Dickey's Barbecue today.
And welcome back into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It's me, Sonny Clark, your radio and video commentary play-by-play guy. And we are setting in. We talked a little bit about the standings and what's going on. We'll throw those back up so everybody can take a look at that, where they are in the standings. 3-2 within district. As far as your Sachse Mustangs, 1-3. So it's a little bit lopsided when you take a look at that. But what is not lopsided is the last two games where the Garland Owls have taken the loss. And that is something that is really good for the Sachse Mustangs, as far as where the other team is, as far as their confidence level and what they're doing. So the Garland Owls, how did they get to that record? Well, they started out the out of district games with two tough games. They went 1-1 in those. They lost the first one against McKinney North as they took the loss 38-10. And then the team they played out of district, the second game against Birdville, they got the victory 23-13. Then they hopped into district and started off with a victory immediately against the North Garland Raiders, 38-32. And then another victory over the Lakeview Centennial Patriots, 35-21. So and then they went on that 3-game winning streak with the victory against the Rowlett Eagles, 19-0, blanked them completely out. And then, so when you take a look at that, the last two games, Wiley East, which is obviously having a great season, undefeated on the season in and out of district. They beat the Garland Owls 34-7. And then last a week, as the Garland Owls were in action, they took the loss against the Naaman Forest Rangers 17-0. So those kind of things where the Garland Owls are, it's all about what you're going to see week in and week out from them, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And we got those stats as we'll take a look at that, as pretty much one guy handling the quarterback duties for the Garland Owls. It's Jaden Norwood. Norwood's 32 of 65. He's averaging about 50% of his passes, as well as 515 yards, 5 touchdowns. But a key number there is 5 interceptions. So that being said, you can look out for that as far as that is concerned. But really what this team is about is rushing. Okay, say whatever you want. Imagine 65 pass attempts, and then the guy that's really doing all the work is Keontae King. He's got 161 attempts, guys. So obviously we're seeing a big difference in what's going on, almost 2.5 times rushing the ball more than passing. So that is huge. So we'll watch out for that. He's got 840 yards. He's averaging just over over 5.25 yards a carry. He's got 8 touchdowns rushing the football. And then Norwood also, the quarterback, is part of the rushing games. He's rushed more than he's actually passed the ball. So the big two-headed monster coming out of the backfield, 89 rushes for Norwood, 353 yards, averaging almost 4 yards a carry, and he's got 4 touchdowns. And then you got some other guys that are being shuttled in. Tamias James, 67 rushes, 283 yards, just over 4.0 yards a carry. And then DeAndre Hardy, he's got 11 carries, 41 yards, just over 3.75 yards a carry. And then you got quite a few guys with about 1 rush. But so those are the top 4 that you're going to be looking at as far as the rushing game is concerned. And then as far as receptions, you got Keelan Davis, 14 receptions, 261 yards, averaging just over 18.75 yards a carry or catch, and he's got 2 touchdowns. And then Javanian Hudson, 6 catches, 98 yards, averaging close to just over 16 yards a catch, with 2 touchdowns. Then 4 catches, 58 yards for near 15 yards for Keontae King. And then Paul Sally, 5 catches, 52 yards, just over 10 yards catch. And then a couple of guys with only 1 catch, 32, 13 yards and a yard. So that's what you're going to be getting and what's coming your way as far as the Garland Owls are concerned, at least offensively. Seeing what they have done, started out the season really well. It'll be really interesting to see how this game happens as they come into this game on a 2-game losing streak, and the Sachse Mustangs coming into where they are, and they need to get a little bit better as well. So that being said, what we're going to do now, we're going to take a quick break here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to bring in the guy that sits normally to my right or left, whichever where we are in the booth. We'll be talking to the Eagle Eye Bill Serna when we come back here on the pregame show here on your Sachse Mustangs Radio Network and the Couch Potato Sports Show. At the Jerry Bullet Training Center, we are a motivated team of coaches with the mindset of helping you achieve and reach your highest goals. Having developed and trained over 100 Division I athletes as well as Division II athletes, even professional athletes, the Bullet team definitely has the knowledge and mindset that take you to the next level. Check out our new 22,000 square foot facility and 3,000 square foot weight room, along with 4,500 square feet of outdoor turf and covered training area, along with football and soccer fields. Contact Melvin Bullitt at 214-326-7853 or visit their facility just outside of Waterview at 8900 Princeton Road in Rowlett. Fit Body Boot Camp located in Sachse, the solution is here. Fast, long-lasting weight loss results and the healthy lifestyle you need to keep them. The key to your fat loss success is our signature afterburn workouts, as well as support and motivation from our world-class coaches, and an easy-to-follow nutrition program to help you keep the fat off. Visit your local Fit Body Boot Camp in Sachse today to see the difference for yourself, or give us a call at 214-463-3005. That's 214-463-3005. Fit Body Boot Camp, Sachse. Sachse Ice House is a non-smoking craft beer and beer pub located in the heart of Sachse. The Ice House was opened to provide a friendly, clean, and female-friendly environment. Sachse was lacking a place for service industry, date nights, and girls' nights, as well as happy hours. Excellent service and top-notch food are our priority. On Tuesday, we offer 79-cent wings, as well as half-price burgers on Mondays. So check us out at the Ice House, located at 6501 Highway 78 in Sachse, or give us a call at 469-304-1550, or check us out on the web at SachseIcehouse.com. Go Mustangs!
Being taken for a ride? Check out Casso Insurance. Serving Texans since 1981. Bundle your home, auto, or business insurance and save a ton. Casso Insurance on the corner of Main Street and Rowlett Road, where we make insurance fun. Or check us out on the web at CassoInsurance.com, where we always have the coffee pot on.
Yeah, but is it fresh?
At Wesson General Contracting Incorporated, we're your one-stop shop for all your general contracting needs. We are locally owned and with over 20 years of experience, so roofing, gutters, sidings, fence staining, painting, foundation problems, or roof damage are no problems at all. Give us a call at 214-200-5588. That's 214-200-5588. Wesson General Contractors. Ever want to know why Bill and I look so great on our broadcasts? Check out K West Designs on Facebook to find out why. Check out all the samples that Kelly has up so you can see, especially if you have a special occasion that needs something original or designed or something that says, this is our moment. Check out K West Designs on Facebook or give Kelly a call at 469-601-5856. That's 469-601-5856. K West Designs. And welcome back into the Couch Potato Sports Show. As, of course, we are here on the pregame show as we looked at a couple of things going into this one here. We talked about it. Now let's bring in the guy that sees a lot of it, that a lot of times that I miss it. It's the Eagle Eye Bill Serna. How you doing, Bill? Good to see you, my friend.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, how was, I don't know about you, but it's been a long 14 days. Okay, how did you get from one game, then the bye, and then here we are? I mean, it's been a long 14 days. What did you do during the layoff?
You know what? I enjoyed a little bit of R&R, but I did go see my daughter's school play on Friday night, and they played at Ford Center there in Frisco. So got to go and enjoy that game, and it was an exciting game. So, got to watch a little football and not be on the air and get to be in the stands
and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But
you
know, it's funny as I spent my time on the bleachers still critiquing.
Wow,
catching things. Even the parents behind me were like, "How does he know when there's a flag?" So
hey, you just bring it with you. And so
the only difference was that I had a bowl of nachos with me when I was doing it this time.
So you getting through the nachos stuff.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this is the Sachse Mustangs, but your daughter's team is, I mean, not that anybody's going to hear it or anything, but talk a little bit about that team as far as that's concerned. They're on the other side, so they're not within district and not any teams that we're going to see. Talk a little bit about the team that your daughter goes to.
Well, and there's kind of a correlation with us is because Coach Miller, that used to be a coach over at Lakeview Centennial that we used to call on every year, is actually head coach over there. He's also president of the Texas Coaches Association.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a pretty great gig over there. But yeah, they're only they're just the high schools have been open for 2 years. It's just freshmen and sophomores. I think there's some juniors sprinkled in, but they opened they decided to go varsity this year with only freshmen and sophomores. And right now they're 7-0. They're on top of
amazing.
They played Frisco Memorial last week, which is an established team, been around for years.
We've heard of them.
Yeah, going up against juniors and seniors, and they took care of business, won 40-30. So they're 7-0. They've already qualified for the playoff, which is unheard in the Frisco School District. Matter of fact, no team has ever gone over 500 in the first year of existence. And they're 7-0. The worst they can be right now is 7-3. So not only did they accomplish that sub 500 record, but they've also qualified for the playoffs. So excited for them. They play actually the same night tomorrow night that we do. They're playing the number one team in the state. They're playing Argyle, which is
we know about them. We've hit them in some of our other broadcasts.
Yeah, Argyle's a powerhouse. So they've got their hands full tomorrow. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a reality check, but it's also a great game for them. Kind of like what we talked about during our non-district game. You play those strong teams to get you better through the year. Quite hasn't happened so much with Sachse, but I think with Emerson, I think it's going to help them get ready for the playoffs, seeing a high quality team like Argyle.
Interestingly enough, we like you said, we're having a little bit of a struggle there as far as what's going on. In fact, go ahead and look at your screen. We'll go ahead and put up the standings of what we're looking at so far right here within the district 9-6A. Wiley East having a spectacular season, 6-0 overall, 4-0 in district. And then you slide on down, see the team that the Sachse Mustangs are taking, the Garland Owls, 3-2, 4-3 overall, but 3-2 within district. But the key on that one, in reality, when you take a look at that, is the one all the way to the right hand side, lost 2 in a row after having so far a pretty successful season up until this point. In reality.
Yeah, and they've played some pretty good teams the last couple of weeks, as they've only been able to muster up 7 points in the last 2 games, which is unlike what we've seen from the Owls there in the first part of the season. So right now we're getting a team that's really been struggling on offense, coming up against a team that's really struggling on defense. So, somebody's going to be able to pull the rope a little bit better in this game, and hopefully Sachse will be able to really focus on this defense and be able to make a difference. One thing that I was kind of looking over during the bye week was that the defense is actually held up really well in the first half. They've actually been in a lot of games going into that halftime where they've really struggled coming out the second half. They've been outscored 66-34 in the third quarter alone.
Wow.
So they've been doubled up on in the third quarter. Second half, they've been outscored, averaging 32-12. So they're being outscored in the second half by 20 points. So I don't know if it's a conditioning thing. I don't know, if it's something that's coming out of the locker room, they're just not prepared. We just don't see that they're making halftime adjustments that's been working right now so far in the second half.
Interestingly enough, they're going, these two teams that we're going to see here today are kind of the same in reality. Obviously, Garland has the most victories, but we're also seeing as they're both falling on a little bit of tough times, it's going to be a vital game in reality. Is, you think about this game, we only got 3 games left, or 4 more games left to go in the season. This is a very important time for Sachse if they're going to try to make that run for the playoffs. The way everybody above him are playing, they may have a shot at that last spot, but they're going to have to do what they did a couple of years ago, during that the year after COVID, to slide into the playoffs.
Well, and when you got a district of 9 teams, you see most of these districts have 6 and 7 teams, where the more than 50% of that district's going to make the playoffs. When you have a district this big with 9 teams, it's a little bit different in a sense that the top not 50% of the district's going to make the playoffs, so it makes it a lot more difficult. And for Sachse's case right now is really they've got to win out. They've got to roll right now. They've got to start here tomorrow night and get on a roll and push it towards the end of the year. Hopefully with this bye week, it really gave them a chance to work on things, work on getting healthy, get those bruises and cuts all healed up and ready to go, because this is going to be a vital stretch. Having a bye week right in the middle of the season is actually really good. A lot of times teams will see it at the beginning of the year. A lot of teams will see it right at the end of the year. Being right in the middle, it really gives you a push, especially in our situation. We can really start focusing on and getting, hopefully, pulling out these last 4 games and then sneaking in on the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you take a look at, how the season has gone along. Good thing they picked up that victory against Rowlett, or they might be mathematically out of it, obviously, depending on the situation. And so now they're still, you go back to the Dumb and Dumber movie. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, so right now there is a chance. So we're going to roll with that. So looking at the football team, as far as the Garland Owls are concerned, this is a football team, obviously, was having success early on, but now we're in a situation where you're seeing that at one point, this was a football team that was running the football. Now they kind of got back to a 50-50, almost, within the last few games, of kind of a 50-50 on the run and pass. So the defense for the Sachse Mustangs are going to have to take a look at the passing and running, also a dual threat in the backfield with the quarterback.
Well, and that's just it. Right now the offense is starting to pick it up a little bit. They really struggled in the second half 2 weeks ago, but the offense is starting to pick up some steam a little bit. Brendan George is starting to get a little bit more comfortable in the pocket, and obviously Akana, as long as he's healthy, he's a treat to see. I think we have a pleasant surprise with Khaleesi Harris, as he's been a new addition to the back.
Yeah, kind of cool. We call him the minibus, right?
Yeah, and we didn't have him at the beginning of the year, so he's been a pleasant surprise, especially with RC Reeves going out for an extended period of time. But Harris has been a pleasant surprise because, unlike Pope Akana, where he's he's good at slashing those holes and getting to the open field, where Harris he's a bruiser. He's a bruiser for a sophomore. So, we're going to be calling his name a lot the next couple of years. But, he's the type that he invites contact, and sometimes he goes out looking for it.
Absolutely. And we've seen him roll over defenders that, he's not the tallest dude in the world either, but he's just going all over him. It's kind of interesting. Same thing with the Garland Owls. The Garland Owls, they kind of started out the same way. Now they're back to a 50-50. It's almost, these teams are almost, alike, exactly what they're doing on the football field, but really a two-headed monster in reality. If you look at how they are running their offense and everything over for Garland, that's exactly what what's going on. If the pass isn't there, we might see the quarterback take off, and we've seen it already with Jaden Norwood. He's 61. 31 to 61. He's about 50%, but he's also ran the ball quite a few times. 89 rushes for 354 yards and 4 touchdowns. So really a real two-headed monster coming into this one, and the offense is built around it.
Well, and the offense is still built around it's definitely built around the run. Like you mentioned, he's 31 for 61. That's equaling out to just under 10 attempts a game. Not
right.
10 completions, 10 attempts a game.
Yep.
So it's absolutely it's designed around the run, because between Norwood and King, they have over 250 rushes between the two of them. So
yep.
The focus is still the run, no matter what. That's their offense. What they do is that the passing comes in timely, because you get comfortable, you start focusing on that rush, and all of a sudden he comes out with the pass, and he's able to hit Keelan Davis, and and he breaks something open. So that's where they've been struggling the last couple of weeks, is they just have not been able to get the run going like they have been. Cavante King he's a top prospect nationwide. He's in the top 100. So he's quite the runner. And he's already on over 800 yards through 7 games. So he's averaging about 120 yards a game. So
yep.
He's definitely the workhorse. But it does open up Norwood, because it keeps him involved, because you do focus on King.
Yeah, and they're getting quite a few yards. That play action's working really good, because if you look at the averages of the wide receivers, top 3 are 16, 18, and 19, and even the fourth one is 10. So they're getting a lot of yards, and it's working up off the play action, because you're going off it. And like you said, if you're not paying attention or you're sleeping just a little bit, one will slip behind a defender, and we could have a big play down the field.
Well, one thing that's actually really lacked on defense, and obviously the whole defense has been a struggle, and is getting that turnover. And one thing with Norwood, with Garland, he'll throw that interception. So it's constantly Sachse's giving up those opportunities. It's time that we got to start taking advantage and getting some opportunities.
And especially these next 2 games, Bill. Obviously, tomorrow night / tonight, taking on the Garland Owls, a good opportunity to get a win. Next week is also a Thursday game that happens on October 20th against the South Garland Titans. That's another football team that is a very winnable football game, and they need to have good success in those 2 games, because on Friday, on the 28th of October, you get Wiley, and then so you get a good opportunity for 2 games to build up that momentum to get ready for a good football team that is the Wiley Pirates.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. You come out of this game and you can take care of business in this game and take out this game. Obviously, South Garland is really struggling right now. So, Saxon looks on the books of that one and says, look, that's one that we need to be taking care of. You get those 2 under your belt, you get that momentum going. That's going to help you going into Wiley. Wiley comes to us, so it gives us an opportunity to really focus on that. Hopefully going into the last game, just needing that win to get into the playoffs. So
exactly.
4 games left. There's still a lot of things that can happen, a lot of movement that can go in the standings, but it's in our control. We have to control that.
Yeah, you got what they say, you're in charge of your own destiny going out. You win out, you probably will slide in there based upon who you're playing and stuff. So that's actually pretty good, because when you are looking at the teams that are on the top, they're going to have to start playing each other now. So that's going to be really interesting, but really surprising. We were talking about this was a 9-team district now. Wiley East is coming on. They said, yeah, come and beat us. And right now, so no one's been able to do so, and their schedule sets up for them to almost go undefeated within the rest of the season. So that's going to be an interesting watch right here in our own district.
Well, and remember, Wiley East is coming up from 5A. This is their first year in 6A. A lot of people look at them and say, look, I mean, they're going to be competitive. They're probably going to be middle of the road. Nobody's talking to them about controlling this this district, but they've got a big game against Wiley this week, and I think if they get to Wiley, I think there's really nothing that's going to stop them getting through the rest of the district and really helping them. I think the only concerning thing for them is that they don't play the type of non-district schedule that a Sachse Mustangs team does, which, going to the playoffs, we're going to see how they can handle that, how that can work.
And guess where I'm going to be, for that. That's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be at Wiley. I'm going to be watching that game, Wiley East, and that happens. And that should be, to kind of get an idea, gauge what's going to be happening for that game as we're going to be setting up with them. They're literally, it's a half mile away from my home. I'm going to zip on over there and take a look at that, which will be really good. Just kind of scout that, and we'll hopefully have some good information coming from that game. So that one is going to be a good one to watch. So.
Yeah, that one would be a fun game to go to. Unfortunately, I'm going to be at the SMU Navy game, so I'll be.
Where are you going to be?
At the SMU Navy. Navy comes down to SMU, so that's going to be a great game. I got one of my friends is coaches there at SMU, so he said, "Come on down," and it kind of worked out perfect because we.
Heck yeah! Thursday night game, you're ready to go.
I'll be ready to go. And ironically, my daughter's school was supposed to play on Friday, and then they moved the game to Thursday. Not sure why they moved it. I don't know if there's gonna be a telecast since both teams are 7-0. Don't know why they changed it, but so now that's on the same night as we are. So I'll be having one eye to the side here, checking the scores. So
checking them out, and again, now is your daughter excited about it? I mean, I've known your daughter for a long time, but I don't know if she really gets into it, or obviously what we do really doesn't affect her. Does she get into it? I mean, as far as what's going on over at the school?
You know what? Us being, doing high school sports, we see all these kids out there, and we see them being part of it. And a lot of times these kids that we see out there probably don't know much about football, but it's the environment they like, and it's Texas football. And you want to be part of it. And that's why my daughter is. She wants to go to the games. She doesn't know much about it. There was a block kick for a return last week, and she's like, "Okay, what just happened?" So she doesn't know that, but it's just being part of the atmosphere, and that's the way it is with Texas football. You don't have to be a big football fan to be part of it, and they're such a new school, but they're starting. I'll give you a perfect example. Early in the season, I went to one of their games, and the student section always picks a corner by the cheerleaders or whatnot. Well, this Emerson, their student section was right in the middle, and it was in the way of all the parents and everything, and because students also stand the whole time. So it was a learning experience, and the teachers moved them all and said, "Okay, you guys pick a side, and then that's where you guys join." But it's that whole atmosphere of getting involved.
Absolutely.
And my daughter's gotten involved with it, and she likes it.
It's like taking me back 35 years. I mean, going to the high school football games in high school, I was kind of like, I played for a little bit, and then obviously I realized that hurt, so I didn't stay a part of it, but then it's just about being there, being about the atmosphere. Coach asked me, he says, "How can you be so excited?" I feel like I'm back in high school. This is what it's like. So I'm just taking a trip back 35 years to get back into this and check it back out. So good stuff.
Yeah.
So good one. The start of maybe a 4-game winning streak to get us out here and maybe slide into the playoffs. Got our fingers crossed for that one. And so, definitely got the little pro thing going on. And so that's going to do it for us here on the pregame show here as far as the Sachse Mustangs taking on the Garland Owls. So for the guy over here to my right, well, he's actually to my left, but he's on my right here. Yeah, which way? And, of course, Big Red, Butch Weston, we're going to be in the booth. We'll see you on later on tonight. Kickoff's going to happen right away if we play this. Well, we're going to play this right before the game for a pregame show right before the game. But we're going to post it on Wednesday, so we'll be up tomorrow at about noon. So that's going to do it for us here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. For Bill Serna, I'm Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio. We'll catch you a little bit later, everybody. Bye-bye.